What is going on, guys? It is Brent Plays Madden, and so today we're doing my final mock draft for the NFL, 2022 draft. We're doing the final mock today, and I've done a lot of mock drafts. Only a couple on YouTube, all of which are up via streams, and you guys help me with. But in terms of like my actual mock draft, just myself, I've done a lot, but I haven't really posted them. So this is going to be my final take on what I think is going to happen. So if I pick somebody to some team and you're like, oh my god, why do you do that? It's just because maybe I've been hearing a lot of buzz, him going there, or he's going higher than everybody thinks, or something like that. And this, just to be clear, this draft is going to be what I think is going to happen, not what I think should happen. So, for example, we started off with the Jacksonville Jaguars, the first overall pick. I think this pick should be Kayvon Thibodeaux because I think he is the best player in this draft. High upside. He has a lot of skill, a lot of talent. I think maybe Aiden Hutchinson should be in play for this pick too. But at the end of the day, I think what the Jaguars really want is actually going to be Travon Walker. And Travon Walker, I have him as 13 on my big board, meaning I think he's the 13th best player in the draft. And so I really don't think he should be going top 3, let alone top 5, or even top 10, to be honest. I think maybe you could make a case for him at 10 to the Jets if they go corner or like secondary with the 4th pick, maybe a wide receiver, and then you go edge at 10. But like Travon Walker, number 1, makes no sense to me. But this is just the consensus. This is what we've been hearing. Travon Walker's probably going to go 1. I think it's Trent Baalke really likes him, or somebody in that organization really like. There's a lot of people who are really high on Travon Walker just because of his pure upside. But I mean, if you want to go with someone with upside, just go Kayvon Thibodeaux. I mean, that's what I would do. But okay, with the second pick in this mock draft, we got the Lions, and this was tough for me because Aiden Hutchinson's on the board, and I think the Lions would love to get Aiden Hutchinson. But I've been also hearing a lot of rumors, a lot of buzz about Malik Willis going too. And so I'm actually going to have the Lions going Malik Willis here. And, well, let's think about it. If the Lions really fall in love with Malik Willis, they're not going to try to trade back and try to snag him if they think somebody else might take him. And they'll just take him at 2. So if the Lions really do like Malik Willis, they would take him at 2. And here I think Malik Willis kind of fits the idea, fits the system because you don't need to play him this year. You can just let him develop under Jared Goff, and then Jared Goff's contract is up like after a year or something. So it's kind of like the perfect scenario. And then maybe even with pick 32, you can get him a new wideout or something. So I think this actually makes more sense than people realize. And yes, we're passing up Aiden Hutchinson. But at the same time, Aiden Hutchinson's the type of guy who's, he's good. He's a really good player. But he's the safe pick. He's not, like, maybe as explosive as some other guys are. But Aiden Hutchinson going 2 could happen too. But this is just my predicted mock, so Malik Willis. All right, with the third pick, we got the Houston Texans. This is tough because the Houston Texans need a lot of different players, all right? I think I'm going to have to go with Aiden Hutchinson because I feel like the Texans value that. Well, obviously, Hutchinson's a great player. Obviously, Hutchinson's a good player, but it's also the fact that he's a really good locker room presence. He's a good leader, and I think the Texans really value that. And so you take probably some guy's number 1 player in the draft, and he's also, he should be good in the locker room, leading your players, just in general, a great pick. I think that's almost a no-brainer for them, I guess. And then with the Jets at number 4, this is an interesting one because I really think this could be wide receiver. I think it could be edge. I think it could be corner. It could even be tackle. At the end of the day, though, I think if the Jets really do want a wide receiver, they're going to take whoever they want at 4 and not let, the Falcons or somebody else try to take their guy. And at the end of the day, I think their guy is going to be Jameson Williams. I think he has the highest upside. Yeah, he's dealing with an injury, so he might not play right away, but that's okay for the Jets. I mean, the Jets aren't a team that's, they're going to win the division with him or with win it with him, not win it without him. No, they're a up-and-coming team. They got to build, get the pieces. And so they got Jameson Williams for the future to be with, Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson throwing to Jameson Williams makes a lot of sense. All right. We got the Giants. So the Giants here, I mean, it's not a surprise. They need offensive line. They also need corner and maybe edge. And so you can make a case for a lot of guys on the board right now. So all of the offensive linemen are on the board. You can make a case for Evan Neal, Ikem Ekwonu, Charles Cross, Ahmad Sauce Gardner, Derek Stingley, Kayvon Thibodeau maybe. Like, there are a lot of different players. I've been seeing like wide receiver could really be like a legitimate option for Giants at 7, which I don't know how I feel about that, but I think if I'm the Giants, you have the pressure of the entire fan base telling you to go tackle here. And here's the thing. If Evan Neal's off the board, like, Evan Neal's not my top tackle, Ekwonu is. But if Evan Neal's off the board, I think the Giants would take Cross over Ekwonu, because I think how they have it listed is Neal, Cross, and then Ekwonu. Even though Ekwonu is my favorite guy. So I think they'll go Evan Neal here. Even though, again, I like not Charles Cross. I like Ikem Ekwonu a little bit better. I think this is the guy who the Giants go with. And, I don't hate it. I love Evan Neal. He's a great prospect, great tackle. We can slide him over to the right, and we have Andrew Thomas at the left. It would make a lot of sense. So here we got the Panthers at 6. This ideally would be a trade back scenario for them. Now, I know that there are some teams who want to trade up. For example, I think it really could happen where the Cowboys try to trade up this far and get maybe a Kayvon Thibodeau, or maybe there's like a wideout that they really want. Maybe Garrett Wilson, Treylon Burks. I don't know. But the Cowboys wanted to trade up. I think the Seahawks wanted to trade up, but since Malik Willis is off the board, maybe they don't want to trade up anymore. I was thinking about having somebody trade up here, but I just don't see good value for any of them here. So I'm going to have the Carolina Panthers making a pick here. And it could be quarterback, it could be offensive line. I think at the end of the day, they're going to go offensive line. Malik Willis is already off the board. They could go Kenny Pickett, but it just really seems too high for him. So then you have the situation that you're in where it's Charles Cross or Ikem Ekwonu. Who are they going to go with? And I think they like Charles Cross more. I do. I don't know. I think they're higher on him. I think they really like him as a prospect, as a player, as a person. And they're going to go with Charles Cross. But okay, then you got the Giants at 7. You know what would be really funny? It would be really funny if the Giants just took Ikem Ekwonu, and then we got basically the 2 best tackles in the draft. But no, that's not going to happen. We already addressed the need. Now we need edge, linebacker, corner, something like that. It's interesting. I like Sauce Gardner here. I like Kayvon Thibodeau. I wouldn't mind trading back if somebody wanted to trade up with us. But if we're sitting in this pick and we're making the pick, I think we go Kayvon Thibodeau. I think the Giants really like him. I think he could probably be a top 3 guy. I would think. I mean, he's the number 1 player on my big board. He's my favorite player in this draft. So, he could go number 1. It's just, if he falls this far, I don't think the Giants let him get past us. All right, you got the Atlanta Falcons at 8. There's been a lot of talk about wide receiver, but I actually don't think they're going wide receiver. I feel like they go wide receiver maybe in the 2nd or 3rd round. And just with this first selection of theirs, I think they go defense. Because their defense is so bad. I mean, their defense is so bad. It's just awful. And I really like the idea of going Jermaine Johnson here. But I also like grabbing a corner because Sauce Gardner is still here. At the end of the day, I think I'm going to go Jermaine Johnson. I think edge is a bigger need. So, yeah. All right, you got the Seattle Seahawks here at number 9. Pick number 9, let's see. They need quarterback, but I don't think they'll take one round 1. Tackle, edge, corner, they're all available. Okay, so Ikem Ekwonu is definitely an option here. Sauce Gardner, I think, is really appealing. Derek Stingley. And honestly, I think the consensus is that Derek Stingley would actually go before Sauce. Even though Sauce is ranked higher on most people's boards. He's third on my board and Stingley's 7th. But I think Stingley's going to go higher than we all think, just because of his 2019 tape, his upside. And I think they go Stingley here. I think the Seahawks take a corner. They go Derek Stingley at number 9. We get the Jets at 10. They took Jameson Williams in the first with the 4th pick. So they addressed wide receiver. They could grab a corner. Sauce is still here. They could grab a tackle, Ikem Ekwonu. I know Becton, they're not satisfied with Becton, really. And as much as I want to go corner, I think they go Ikem Ekwonu. He's right here at 10. He just fell into their lap. You might as well, right? You might as well. Protect Zach Wilson, too. Especially if Becton isn't the guy he used to be. Okay, we got Washington Commanders at 11. This would probably be a trade down scenario for the Commanders if they got somebody to trade up with them. And is there really anybody on the board that you would trade up for? I mean, Sauce is still here, right? So a team who really needs a corner could try to trade up. I almost think that the Vikings might trade up with the Jets to grab Sauce. You know, the Vikings need corner really badly. And this may be a horrible trade. A lot of you guys might hate this trade, but I think that the Vikings trade up one spot just to get Sauce Gardner. Now, I know they're like, okay, Washington's probably not going to take a corner, so why not just wait a pick to let Sauce drop to you? Well, the thing is, if you wait a pick, somebody else might trade up there. So I think if you're the Vikings and you really want Sauce Gardner, well, you just offer. They're going to give a future 4th and pick 184. We'll say that, okay? A future 4th and pick 184 or something, and they'll trade up because they really want Sauce Gardner. It might cost them more, it might cost them less. They might not even do this at all. But I think they just really, really want Sauce. I mean, especially if Stingley's off the board, that's really their guy. And he's viewed as the number 1 corner for a lot of people. So, okay, Washington gets a future 4th and pick 184. They trade down. They still have basically everybody on the board that they were looking at. You could go quarterback. I don't think that's the move. I was thinking maybe wide receiver. Maybe Kyle Hamilton, because he's right here. I don't know. I guess Kyle Hamilton does kind of seem like a Washington guy, so we'll go Kyle Hamilton here. We'll draft him, yes. Yeah, I think he could improve that secondary a bit. Not that they really need it, but the value on him is pretty good at 12. So we'll go there. You got the Houston Texans here at 13. Who'd they go earlier? We had them going Aiden Hutchinson, the edge. So if they're here at 13, they probably want best player available. None of the tackles really made it here, so they can't really grab one of those tackles. I would like to give them Jordan Davis. Defensive interior, defensive tackle there. Could be really nice for them. Also, I would like to give them a wideout. And I think Garrett Wilson's here, so I think I'm going to go Garrett Wilson. I mean, he's a good route runner. He can catch a bunch of balls. I think he's my wide receiver 2 in this class, behind Jameson Williams, but he could be your wide receiver 1. You get a weapon for Davis Mills. That seems like the right play. Alright, you get the Ravens here. A guy like Trent McDuffie could be off the board here. You could go corner, you could go edge. Not exactly sure you need edge. I struggle with the Ravens pick a lot because at this point the tackles are off the board, as I said before. I'm not so sure you would want to reach on one of these guys. Maybe Trevor Penning, but I don't know about that. So if we're looking at the board here, there's some interesting players for sure. I don't know. It's hard to pick for the Ravens. I haven't really thought about this much. I mean, I usually give them an edge, but I'm not so sure edge is their biggest need. I think I'm going to go Trent McDuffie. I think they're going to maybe grab a corner. It would make sense. I think they lost one in free agency. I'm not exactly sure about this, but I think this pick is definitely defense for the Ravens. Now, I went McDuffie here. I think he's a lockdown corner. He's a little bit, just a little bit smaller, but he gets it done. He locks people down. Good pick. We go to the Eagles next. They have 2 picks. They need some help on defense. Let's be real here. They need, linebacker Devin Lloyd could be an option. I like Leo Chenal, too. Nakobe Dean, maybe. You also have corners, but are you really going to grab a corner here after McDuffie just went off the board? Maybe if you're high on Booth or Elam, you snag one. I've heard of Dax Hill maybe going here. You could go wide out, too. I think that's definitely in play here. And I think they probably just want to get their choice at the wide receiver that they like the most. I'm going to go... I know this is high for him, but I'm going to go Sky Moore. I think he definitely could slide into the first round. Now, I know I have him in the top half of the first round, but I think Sky Moore could really surprise people as how high he goes. Now, he may only be a slot wide receiver in the NFL, but what he can do in the slot, I mean, it's insane. If a team likes him, they could really want to go and grab him. And now Sky Moore's a lot lower on my big board, but I just think let's give him some first round buzz, or some mid first round buzz. I saw him go. Where did I see him go? I think I saw him go like 22 to the Packers the other day, so I don't think he'll go this high, but we're just trying to experiment a little bit. Okay, we got the Saints here. They could go quarterback. I really think they could. Desmond Ridder is definitely in play. I think that's actually the move. I think they go quarterback here, and I do think they go Desmond Ridder. He's my QB2 in this draft. I went back and forth between Ridder and Howell, but, as my QB2, because Willis is my QB1. And at the end of the day, I think Ridder he's ready. He's got a lot of the intangibles, He has a lot of talent. He's also got, you got to shape him a bit. He can sit behind Jameis Winston for a year or two. I don't know. Maybe he develops into your starter. Maybe he doesn't. But I think the Saints would like to grab him. So here we got the Chargers. And I hate to be that guy who's just complete chalk pick here. But the Chargers really just need a defensive tackle. I mean, I think that's somewhat obvious now. Which one do you take? That's the question. I think it's Jordan Davis. I think he's the best defensive interior player in this draft. I have him on my big board at 11, just outside the top 10. So I think it's pretty good value there. We got the Eagles here. They took a wideout. Now, it may not be Sky Moore in the real thing. It may be like Treylon Burks or Drake London or somebody else at 15. But let's just say they take a wideout there. Then I do think they go and grab a linebacker. So I think Devin Lloyd fits their scheme pretty well. They need help at the linebacker position. He's right there. Best linebacker in the draft, in my opinion. Definitely would snag him. Now, Devin Lloyd's 15 on my big board, so he's a little bit down there, but he is the top linebacker, I think, in this class. Now you got the Saints. They took a quarterback. Now I think you go offensive line. You could go receiver as well. So if you put all these positions in, Drake London could be a good option, but I think with Michael Thomas there, you probably wouldn't go with a guy like Drake London. Chris Olave, I think, could be a really interesting play to grab here. Trevor Penning as well. I really think it's down to Chris Olave and Trevor Penning. Maybe George Pickens. It's a tough call. Really tough call. At the end of the day, I think they go Chris Olave, even though they do need a tackle. I don't know. They fall in love with Chris Olave. They take Chris Olave. Steelers, they need a quarterback, but their top guys are off the board. There's a chance they could go Kenny Pickett or Matt Corral here. I don't think they're a Sam Howell team. I don't think that's the case. I also don't think they go quarterback here, just because, again, their top guy, Malik Willis, and maybe their second guy, Ritter, off the board. So, tackle could be an option here. I really think you go in defensive interior and go Devontae Wyatt, though. That makes a lot of sense to me. Beef up that defense that's already really good. Maybe take a QB in the second round. You got the Patriots here, and they could go a lot of different ways, too. You grab Devontae Parker through trade, but I think you still might want a wideout now. Whether you go round 1 or round 2 or 3 for a wideout, I don't know. I also think an offensive guard is in play because you lost some in free agency. I think the linebacker could definitely be in play, but with Devin Lloyd off the board, I don't know if you grab Nakobe Dean. Corner's interesting. You could grab Elam, Dax Hill, Andrew Booth. Edge maybe as well. I'm going to go a wide receiver. I think that despite getting Devontae Parker, they still want somebody else. This is a tough call for me. I mean, I was going to go Tristan Watson, but I'm not so sure he fits the scheme. With the wide receivers on the board, I'm not so sure they go wide receiver, actually. They're great wide receivers, but I don't know. The guy who I really think could fit with them is Jameson Williams, but he's already gone. Chris Olave could too. I'm not so sure. I think at the end of the day, I might want to go offensive guard and Zion Johnson. Yeah, I think I kind of have to. I mean, that's just a big need for you guys. And yeah, taking a guard round 1 may not be the fun pick, but it's definitely a smart pick. And he's the best guard in the draft. He could go higher than this. He could go a little bit later. But it's definitely a good pick. Here you got the Green Bay Packers at 22. They could go wide out, but knowing their front office, I'm not so sure they will. I think they might go wide out with the next pick, but because Karlaftis is just on the board, I think they will take Karlaftis. And you may say, oh, they don't need edge, but we both know they took Rashawn Gary when they didn't really need him, so they might do that again. Alright, we got the Cardinals here. Kenyon Green, the guard, could be in play. You could also think center, but I think they have like Rodney Hudson or something, so Leonard Baum may not be the guy. I think at the end of the day, though, I am going to go corner, and I think I'm going to go Kaiir Elam. He's really good. He could slide even higher than this, but I think at the end of the day, Cardinals go corner. You got the Dallas Cowboys, a team who's rumored they really want to trade up. I also think they want a wide receiver. I think they like Jameson Williams for some. I don't know. That's what I feel like. The Cowboys could definitely try to take a wide receiver here. Now, you notice Drake London falling a little bit. Now, I have him actually somewhat. Yeah, I have him at 16 on my big board. So it's not that I think he's bad. I just think a lot of teams love him. A lot of teams hate him, probably. And the teams who need a wide receiver, let's just say they don't like him, right? Well, then he might fall. But okay, the Cowboys. Here's the thing. I think, despite their needs, I think they want a wide receiver because Amari Cooper left. They got Michael Gallup. They got CeeDee Lamb. I'm going to give them either Treylon Burks or Drake London. I think I'm going to have to go with Drake London here. I think that, Jerry Jones, he would fall in love with a guy like Drake London. Now you got the Buffalo Bills. Now, I actually think their biggest need is corner. But at the same time, they've been rumored to really, really, really like Breece Hall. So I think I'm going to, even though I don't think a running back should go in the first round, probably not even the first 2 rounds in my opinion, and I think Kenneth Walker is the best running back, Buffalo Bills really, really, really like Breece Hall. We're going to go Breece Hall here. Sometimes teams reach on a running back, and that could be the Bills this year. Arguably, some could say the best running back in the draft, though. He's only like 57th or 59th on my big board, though, so I have like a late second round grade on him. But, yeah, anyways, we got the Tennessee Titans here. I think this probably should be either an edge, a guard, a tackle, maybe. We'll look at the edges. I really think Arnold Epiketti could be a riser. I saw somebody, I think it was Brett Coleman, had him at 10th overall, higher than Kayvon Thibodeau for some reason. So, I mean, who knows? Maybe he'll go there. You got tackle. Tyler Smith, ooh. Yeah, I think Tyler Smith goes here to the Titans. I don't know what it is about Tyler Smith to the Titans, but they need a tackle. I feel like he's their guy. I don't know. Then you got the Buccaneers here. I think this is a no-brainer again. You kind of need a guard, and Kenyon Green is here. So, I guess maybe you take center, but I think Kenyon Green is the play here. You would love to have Zion Johnson there, but if he's not there, you go Kenyon Green. Now, the Green Bay Packers took George Karlaftis before. Now, I do think they take wide receiver, and I think they take the guy they really like, and I'm thinking that George Pickens. Correct me if I'm wrong, but basically George Pickens had a bad injury, maybe some character concerns, but besides that, I mean, he's a really, really talented wide receiver, and he went to Georgia, so it's not like he had, he had good competition. So, he should be a great pick for the Packers. Now, you got the Chiefs at 29. They're in an interesting situation, I'd say. They want a receiver, they maybe want a corner or an edge. I'm going to look at them all. They have back-to-back picks, so they could really go wherever they want here. I think Arnold Epiketti is the play. I think he's going to be sliding even higher than this. I think Epiketti might be top 25, which may surprise a lot of people who have a second-round grade on him. But I actually really like him. I like his tape. He's really aggressive. He had some good, what's it called? I think it was either Combine or, Pro Day. He tested out well. Anyways, we got the Chiefs at 30. They just took an edge. I'm thinking this is either a wide receiver or a corner. And I don't know. I think Andrew Booth makes a lot of sense. Daxton Hill could make a lot of sense too. And I feel like the Chiefs are a Daxton Hill type team. He could be a corner. He could be like a safety. He's very versatile, so he could play, a few positions. He's really good too, so. Yeah, not much to say about that. We got the Bengals on the board at 31. Now, I think this is a really good situation for the Bengals to be in. I mean, they need offensive line a little bit. They addressed it a little bit in free agency, but they still need it. They need corner, in my opinion. And here you really have a choice. Now, I didn't even realize Trevor Penning's still on the board, so he could be an option here. I have him higher than Ryman. But, anyways, Tyler Linderbaum, if Linderbaum's there at 31, you don't even have to trade up for him. I think that's a no-brainer there. I think maybe you go corner if you want Booth. But Linderbaum being there for you, that's just you want to protect Joe Burrow at the end of the day. So you can always grab a corner in round 2. They have a little bit of depth. And then you got the Detroit Lions. So remember, they took Malik Willis in this mock, which I actually think I don't know. I think they definitely could do. It's a bit of a stretch, but I do think they could do that. So here I'm thinking the pick is either wide receiver. Maybe you want a linebacker like Nakobe Dean. Whoops. Linebacker, receiver, and then maybe you try to go corner. Right? And if this draft, or at least this first round, is all about building your future, well, you're drafting Malik Willis, you might want a weapon. Right? You have Amon-Ra St. Brown, you have, I think, DJ Chark now. You got Hawkinson. You could try to grab another wideout. I actually think that's what they do. Right? So, if they're here at 32, I'm thinking Treylon Burks could be a good option. And I have him higher ranked than just Jahan Dotson and Tolbert. But I feel like Jahan Dotson fits more the Lions scheme. Christian Watson could be a good option here, too. But at the end of the day, we're going Jahan Dotson. I feel like that's the wide receiver they try to get. And, yeah, I mean, that is my final NFL mock draft before the draft. So, I hope you guys enjoyed. I know you may disagree with a lot of my opinions, a lot of my picks. This isn't what I would do. This is what I think is going to happen. And I think I did reach on Sky Moore at 15. Like, I don't think Sky Moore's probably not going 15, but just pretend that's a different wide receiver, all right? The rest of it, I think, really, really could happen, though. Like, all of this, I really do think could happen. So, yeah, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Drop a like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.